welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me, because today we are going to do a little video. So in honor of Women's History Month, I decided that I want to share some books with you that feature my favorite women main characters. And yeah, I'm super excited about this video. We have some really badass women that I want to talk to you about that are in some of my favorite books and some books that I don't think I've actually ever mentioned before. So that should be fun. And I want to say that I didn't pick any teenagers, which was kind of hard for me. I went back and forth with whether or not to include teenagers, like, are they, and I was just like, whatever, I'm not going to think about it too hard. But I actually have a lot anyway. So yeah, I know this is kind of going to be a yap fest, so let's just go ahead and talk about these books so this video won't be too long. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start with some of the books that I haven't talked about yet, and then we'll go into some of the ones that you will not be surprised to see at all in this video. Also, I want to mention that all of these books will be written by women as well. So all the women in this video, and I love that for you, for me, for us. Like, yeah, let's get into it for real this time. So the first book I want to talk about is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. And of course, we are featuring Dani Brown from this book. Dani is an academic and we love an academic, okay? Yeah, and she's funny and she's just very comfortable being herself. And yeah, love Dani down as a main character. So in Take a Hint, Dani Brown, we follow Danica Brown, who knows what she wants: professional success, academic renown, and an occasional role in the hay to relieve all that career-driven tension. But romance, been there, done that, burned the t-shirt. So Dani asks the universe for the perfect friend with benefits. And look, period. I was laughing so hard at some of the things that came out of Dani's mouth. Did I just spit? I think I did. That's gross. Sorry. And yes, love Dani down. I have another academic, because we love the nerds. Okay? And very different personality from Dani, okay? But I still really enjoy this woman, and that is Emily Wilde from Emily Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries by Heather Fawcett. Because look, Emily is smart. Okay, she's smart. She is very detailed. She knows what she wants and she goes for it. She lets people know what the business is. She's not all about the fluff and all that. And I love getting to see the softer tidbits that we see with her and Wendell throughout this series. So yeah, Emily Wilde, one of my faves for sure. Cambridge professor Emily Wilde is a genius scholar who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. And Emily lives for her work. She emphatically prefers the company of her books, her dog Shadow, and the fair folk to other people. So when she arrives in a hardscrabble village in the far north, Emily wishes only to focus on her studies. She certainly doesn't have time for another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Bamblebee, who manages to charm the town folk, muddle Emily's research, and utterly confound and frustrate her. But as Emily gets closer and closer to uncovering the secrets of the hidden ones, the most elusive of all fairies, lurking in the shadowy forest outside the town, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bamblebee, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she must unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. And yes. The next book that I want to talk about is This Poison Heart by Bayron. And I know I said no teenagers, right? I'm not talking about Bree's, even though Bree is a great main character. I want to talk about Bree's parents. Bree's mothers went so hard for her. They were there for her. They laughed, they taught her things, and they let Bree be who she was. They didn't try to make Bree hide her power or anything like that. They just wanted her to be who she was freely. And look, I'm here for that. I love that. We need a lot more parents like that in the world, okay? Bree has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. When Bree's aunt dies and leaves her dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents hope that maybe, surrounded by plants and flowers, Bree will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instructions and a walled garden filled with the world's most lethal botanicals. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it. Like, yes, Bree's parents in this, I say, and a lot of times in YA books, I have issues with the parents because I'm like, why are y'all not watching y'all's children? Why are they out here running wild, doing all this craziness? Like, come on now. Or I'm fussing at them because they just are not doing right by their kid in general. So to find a book where I really love, where the parents really love and support their child, yes. Okay, next up we have The Wren and the Holly Library by K.A. Linde, and I want to talk about the main character, Kerri, in this book. She is a badass, okay? She is out here doing what needs to be done. She's taking care of her friends, making sure, she was dealt a not great hand at life, but she kept going, she kept fighting, and I love that for her. I do, and I wish nothing but good things for her, and we'll see if that happens in the second book. Well, yeah, I really hope that this series ends with Kerri getting all the great things that she deserves, So in this book, it says some things aren't supposed to exist outside of our imagination. 13 years ago, monsters emerged from the shadows and plunged Kerri's world into a cataclysmic war of near total destruction. The New York City she knew so well collapsed practically overnight. In the wake of that carnage, the Monster Treaty was created, a truce of sorts. But tonight, Kerri, a gifted and fearless thief, will break that treaty. She'll enter the Holly Library not knowing it's the home of a monster. He's charming, quietly alluring, terrifying, but he knows talent when he sees it. It's just a matter of finding her price. Now she's locked in a dangerous bargain with a creature unlike any other. She'll sacrifice her freedom, she'll offer her skills. Together, they'll put their own futures at risk. But he's been playing a game across centuries, and once she joins in, there will be no escape. Like, I love me a badass woman fighting, thieving, out here outsmarting men. Like, yes, right? Yeah. And in that same vein of a badass fighting woman main character, let us also not forget to talk about my girl Araya from The Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. And let me tell you about Araya. She was out here killing vampires as a human. What? Yes. Like, she was fighting for her life. She was basically prey in this vampire world. She was one of the few humans to, be okay and not end up in a very awful situation that may or may not have included death. So yes, Araya is one of my favorite women main characters. It says, human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the night-born vampire king, Araya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. Araya, yeah, one of the baddest bitches. Yeah, for sure. Another baddie that I want to talk about is Naomi. I think that's how you pronounce her name, from Reign and Ruin by J.D. Evans. Okay, she is the heir to a sultanate that once ruled the world. He is an unwanted prince with the power to destroy. She is order and intellect, a woman fit to rule in a man's place. He is chaos and violence and will stop at nothing to protect his people. Okay, and look, let me tell you about this because the synopsis doesn't do a great job. Well, it does, but it doesn't really, whatever. Okay, so we follow Naomi. And like the synopsis said, she's the heir to the sultanate, but of course, like in every world, men don't want women to rule because they don't think they can. But let me tell you about Naomi. She is smart, she is meticulous, she's very detail oriented, she can outsmart any of these men. She is good, okay? And she does not let her emotions get the best of her, which is what these men expect her to do. Like, they push her buttons, right? They push her buttons and they try to be conniving, but she's like, no, I'm one step ahead of you. Like, she is good, okay? And I absolutely love that. I love that. Yes, do what you gotta do, handle business, be the woman that these men are out here hating because they can't take her place, right? Yeah. So in this world, there's also a really interesting magic system. It is like think of a color wheel, but instead of colors, it's like magical powers. And then you have like complementary powers opposite each other, and you need to like complete the wheel for things to happen and all that. It's really super interesting, and I definitely think more people should pick this up because she is a great main character. I just realized that I said I was going to mention the books that I hadn't mentioned first, but then I just started out on a theme and I started talking about women who were badasses and fighting. Okay, I guess we'll just continue on that theme and throw everything that I said before out. And so with that being said, let's talk about Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. And let's talk about my girl Camilla. Okay, because Camilla was also one of the baddest. Camilla went toe to toe with Prince Envy, had him shaking in his boots, saving him, had him trying to outsmart her. And did that work? Absolutely not. Like, come on now. Like, yeah. Camilla, look. Camilla did it for me in a bunch of ways. Okay. The Prince of Envy has never claimed to be a saint, but when a cryptic note arrives signaling the beginning of a deadly game, he knows it will take more than a hint of sin to win and save his falling and demon court. Riddles, hex objects, anonymous players, nothing will stand in his way, though none of the meticulous plans prepare him for her, the frustrating artist who ignites his sin like no other. The trouble with scoundrels and blackguards is that they haven't a modicum of honor, a fact Miss Camilla Antonius learns after one desperate mistake allows Waverly Green's most notorious rake to blackmail her. To avoid a ruinous scandal, Camilla is forced to enter a devil's bargain with Envy, little expecting his game will awake her true nature. Together, Envy and Camilla must embark on a perilous journey through the underworld, from glittering demon courts to the sultry vampire realm and beyond, while trying to avoid the most dangerous trap of all, falling in love. And I absolutely loved that Camilla was not a damsel in distress. She saved Envy countless times. She was a baddie, okay? And I love that. Love that. And look, this one's not going to come by any surprise. I'm not even going to spend a long time on it because you already know what it is, because I will never ever stop screaming about this book, and that is Faebound by Saara El-Arifi. We feature 3 badass women in this book, okay? We have Erin, we have Leto, we have Fury. Like, these women are out here doing what needs to be done, and I love that. They're all different in their own ways. They have different strengths, and look, they all can kick some ass when necessary, period, right? So, okay, I'm gonna keep this really short. Erin was born on the battlefield, has lived on the battlefield, and one day she knows she will die on the battlefield. As a warrior in the Elven army, Erin has known nothing but violence her whole life. Her sister Leto is trying to make a living as a diviner, seeking prophecies of a better future. When a fatal mistake leads to Erin's exile from the Elven lands, both sisters are forced into the terrifying wilderness beyond their borders. There they encounter the impossible, the Fae court. The Fae haven't been seen for a millennium, but now Erin and Leto are thrust into their seductive world, torn among their loyalties to each other, their Elven homeland, and their hearts. Pick it up. Thanks. And then one of my more recent favorite women main characters is Sun from the 5th season. We have Sun and we have Cyanide in this book, and look. The baddest, okay? The absolute baddest, saving the world, doing all these things. Like, I love them, okay? I love them. right? And with the 5th season, it says that this is the way the world ends for the last time. It starts with great red rift across the heart of the world's sole continent, spewing ash that blots out the sun. It starts with death, with a murdered son and a missing daughter. It starts with betrayal and long dormant wounds rising up to fester. This is the stillness, a land familiar with catastrophe, where the power of the earth is wielded as a weapon, and there is no mercy. And look, I have always said that I feel like, yes, I will fight for my life, but at a certain point, I'm tired. I'm tired. Let me tell you, never gave up. Never gave up. Lived so many different lives. It feels like whole lives. And just started over and kept going. Look, I don't know that it could be me, but a baddie for sure. And, you know, we always go up for a baddie. All right, we are almost there, down to our last few books. And the next person that I want to talk about is Anna Maria from Anna Maria and the Fox by Liana de la Rosa. Okay, and Anna Maria is a person who has always been told what to do, who to be, what is expected of her, and she of course wanted to fill those shoes. She thought, you know, it was doing her duty to the family. And when she gets a chance to step away from those expectations and really learn who she is, and she just blossoms into this really great person, great sister, great friend. And I really love that, can relate to that, and I just loved Anna Maria's journey throughout this book. So Anna Maria Luna Valdez has strived to be the perfect daughter, the perfect niece, and the perfect representative of the powerful Luna family. So when she is secretly sent to London with her sisters to seek refuge from the French occupation of Mexico, Anna Maria experiences her first taste of freedom, far from the judgmental eyes of her domineering father. If only she could ignore the piercing looks she receives across ballroom floors from the austere Mr. Fox. So this is a historical romance, and you get to learn about women, the roles of women in this time, and how, you know, they're trying to combat them and do something different. And I just really enjoyed Anna Maria's story, and I am super excited to finally get to her sister's story as well. So yeah, try this one out. I think you might like it. This next woman character, my enjoyment of her started in the Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, but I was so very happy and excited that she ended up getting her own love story in the True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. And I am of course talking about my girl Fizzy. Okay, Fizzy is hilarious. She does what she wants to do. She is fully herself and doesn't let anybody tell her who to be or what she should do. And I love that. I love that. You know, I think it's something that we all as women can strive to do and be. Felicity Fizzy Chin is lost. Sure, she's got an incredible career as a beloved romance novelist with a slew of bestsellers under her belt, but when she's asked to give a commencement address, it hits her. She hasn't been practicing what she's preached. Live your life like a romance novel? Fizzy hasn't ever really been in love. Lust? Definitely. But the swoon-worthy, can't stop thinking about him all-encompassing feeling she describes in her books? Nope. Never. Worse still, the optimism she spent her career encouraging in readers is starting to feel like a lie. Starring in Connor's show is Fizzy's chance to finally step into the role of romance heroine. But when the lights come up and all eyes are on her, it turns out her happily ever after might just lie behind the screen. And this is hilarious, and it's also very much, you know, Fizzy finding out what she wants, and I really loved this. Alrighty friends, we have made it to our last book, and there are two characters that I want to talk about from this book, okay? And that book is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi, okay? All right, so let's talk about Faye, our main character. Faye lost her husband at a really young age. Well, yeah, I will say, yeah, because that's young, okay. And she is trying to live life again. And what I loved about Faye is that she wasn't afraid to be messy. She wasn't afraid to, you know, say what she wanted, go after what she wanted, even if it wasn't necessarily, you know, she didn't care if it was frowned upon or if it was a little taboo. Like, she went after what she wanted. And look, I would love to have that energy, you know? And I also want to talk about Joy, because Joy is Faye's best friend and she is one of my favorite side characters ever. Like, I really want a book with Joy's story. I do, because not only did she provide comedic relief in a really heavy story about grief, she also was very real with Faye. She was like, look, sis, I'm standing behind you, but this is messy. You're being messy. This isn't safe. Like, she called Faye out on her bullshit, and I love a friend like that. Like, I'm still gonna be here for you, but you wilding and you need to get it together, okay? Like, I love that energy. I loved them together, and this book is just... it's so many things at one time. It's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's hilarious, it's taboo, it so many things in this short novel, and I ate up every second of it, okay? And I think everybody needs to read it. Now look, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's grating on my last nerve. They're doing some kind of like plumbing work in the front yard of the house across the street, and it's just noise. So much noise. They was out there, it was dark last night, it was like 8 o'clock, and I knew they couldn't see because I couldn't see. Go in the house. I didn't know people worked there late at night. Ugh. And now they already after 8. So if y'all can hear that, I'm sorry. This is the last book anyway, but let me hurry up and wrap this up because it's working on my nerves, okay? She's even started dating the perfect guy, but their new relationship might be sabotaged before it has a chance by the dangerous thrill Faye feels every time she locks eyes with the one person in the house who is most definitely off limits, his father. How far is Faye willing to go for a second chance at love? Akwaeke Emezi's vivid and passionate writing takes us deep into a world of possibility and healing and the constant bravery of choosing love against all odds. And I will never be able to say enough great things about that book. So, with all of that yapping and all those things being said, I am happy that we decided to sit down and talk about my favorite women main characters, because we just need to hype these women up, these women authors who are writing these great strong women main characters. Like, we all need to be here for it, and I am, and I'm super excited that I had this many to even, you know, choose from. There were more, and I had to, you know, narrow down a little bit, which is always a great problem to have. But anyway, thank you all for staying until the end of this video. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Anything that you do to support me and my channel is greatly appreciated. And I hope you have the best day that you possibly can. Remember to take care of yourself, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye. And now it's done.